What is the best pool equipment? Well, in my opinion, the best swimming pool equipment would be a variable speed pool pump combined with a cartridge pool filter. Of course, a heater is nice depending on where you live. Some places you don't need one. So for this purpose, I'll say that we'll just look at the pump and the filter itself. So a variable speed pool pump saves so much money over a single speed pool pump. It's a no-brainer that you have to go with variable speed these days. The amount of savings is like 80 to 90%. The electrical savings over a single speed pool pump. So that's definitely the way I'd go. But a cartridge filter is also a really good investment. It's 3 times finer of a media filter. It'll take out particulate 3 times smaller than that of a silica sand filter, and that's really great. That reduces the amount of little floaties that you see in the water, especially at night when you have the lights on. That's when you'll really see the turbidity in the water and the particulate floating around. But let's say that you're a realistic person and you're not made of money, and variable speed pool pumps and cartridge filters are super expensive. So where should you try to save? You got to save some money somewhere. You can't have a Lamborghini right now, so you just got to make a compromise. I would say definitely, with certainty, go with a variable speed pool pump, because the energy savings and the cost savings from that are just too tangible to ignore. The reality is that a silica sand filter is good enough to get the job done. I mean, it's been the de facto standard in residential swimming pools for decades now, so one more swimming pool is going to be just fine. Are you going to notice a problem with it? No, not at all. It'll keep your water crystal clear. Could the water look marginally better with a cartridge filter? Well, maybe yes, and probably definitely yes at night with the lights on. That being said, a silica sand filter does a great job. It takes relatively minor maintenance in that you have to backwash it periodically when the pressure builds up, and maybe once every 5 to 7 years you might need a sand change in it. But other than that, they're highly reliable models, something that I would strongly consider using because they're pretty cost effective, and that would allow me to allocate those funds to something that's going to return the favor, that's going to pay me back and give me a return on my investment. The cartridge filter is not going to return on your investment at all. In fact, to the opposite, a cartridge filter is kind of expensive, especially when you look at the long-term costs when you associate the cartridge itself being replaced. The cartridge itself is probably 2/3 or 60% the cost of buying a brand new filter. So if you didn't know this and you bought a cartridge filter and you pressure washed the heck out of them to clean them and you ripped the paper, now you need new cartridges. You're shocked at how much it costs because it costs almost as much as a new filter. So in that sense, if I had to save money, I would save it on the filter. I would just go with a sand filter. It's going to get the job done, but I would switch over to a variable speed pool pump, and I would say that's possibly the best you can do. The best equipment is variable speed with cartridge, but if you just don't have enough money to do that, I would say go variable speed with a sand filter.